Eric Steimel and his team at the University of South Florida love to find new ways to get science done.
That should do it, Karen.
Take their latest creation. It's a small but sturdy remote-controlled boat that can carry up to 300 pounds of scientific gear.
It's running nice with those larger pontoons.
Eric built the first version with his own money. He wanted to create something that could really get the job done.
Pretty much any instrumentation you have, we should be able to strap it to this thing. This is a pickup truck for the water. If you have equipment, we should be able to mount it very quickly and get in the field and collect data.
Today, that equipment consists of 2 underwater video cameras and a GPS. Eric wants to try to use the vehicle to check on the health of seagrass that lines the bottom of Tampa Bay in Florida.
Seagrass is a form of a grass in the marine environment. It grows on the bottom, much like a pasture. And in tropical waters, the ecology of that environment is greatly dependent upon the survival and growth and productivity of those seagrasses.
In other words, if you don't have seagrass, you don't have fish, or dolphins, or birds. The problem is, seagrass is often damaged by propellers, especially if boaters travel too fast.
If you see this, the sandy spot here, that's basically a prop scar. This is where, right about now, low tide, a boat tries to take a shortcut or not paying attention, gets outside the channel, and their prop basically just digs a hole, rips up the grass, destroys the roots.
Sometimes it can take years and years and years for seagrasses to naturally recover, if indeed they do at all.
Environmental scientists would like to find all the prop scars in Tampa Bay, then replant them with seagrass grown in other areas. That's where Eric's new vehicle comes in. It can get into shallow areas where larger vessels just can't go.
It's a shallow draft, it's electric, so you're not damaging the grass as we're mapping. That's a raggy one, man. That's somebody who's going slow and ripping stuff up.
The vehicle can be programmed to travel up to 3 kilometers on its own, but in the crowded waters of Tampa Bay, Eric prefers to guide it using a remote control.
Out here where the work we're doing is so random that you really have to have a human in the loop most of the time.
As it drives, the 2 cameras capture images of the seagrass below. That video is then sent to Eric's laptop through a wireless network, along with a record of precisely where it was recorded.
Each image gets a GPS overlay, so we have a stamp for every individual frame. So we get that high-resolution sampling, so we can go back later and pick an actual frame and say, okay, this is what was there.
The GPS also allows them to track the vehicle's path. They can see where they've been and where they still have work to do.
If we were to have to do this by hand, it would take many, many, many man-hours. The logistics would be more difficult. We'd be doing it with either snorkel or scuba. But with the remote control, we have a global positioning system on board. He's able to pinpoint a location. He's able to follow the damage and the scar.
The vehicle seems to be running smoothly, but even if it did break down, off-the-shelf components mean it wouldn't be a problem.
If something really goes wrong and we're in Port St. Lucie and we forgot something, or if I forgot something, we can run up to Home Depot, Radio Shack, West Marine, wherever it is, and just buy it.
Eric says that the vehicle can be geared up for all kinds of different work, from monitoring coral reefs to inspecting bridges for hurricane damage. It can make the work of all kinds of scientists easier. It's just a